40 years ago, the world, this place, were very different. We fought so they would not have to. The Allies prepared to assault mainland Italy. The town of Pazzano was under attack. I needed a rifle. Although it seemed hopeless, Dante led from the front. Before I could reach him, Dante was gone. I would mourn later. Our leader, my friend, had given his life begging the Allies to send help. The tanks had arrived and we had nothing that could stop them. They had done it! The captured artillery destroyed the tank and bought us another chance. The Nazi attack had been a reprisal for the death of a senior German officer. The kill ordered by Dante, the fatal bullet fired by me. We'd lost our leader. Our home became the headquarters for the local resistance. This is where my father taught me to shoot. I knew where each shot would land before I even pulled the trigger. The shot became natural, like throwing a stone. I began to feel at one with the weapon. These weapons could be devastating if controlled properly. Precision mattered less than speed. We had to make do with what we had. From the tower, I could slow the enemy, but we would need help from above to stop them. Father had taken charge of the unit. I knew only I could save my comrades from being overrun. Dante's pleas had worked. The Allies had sent a bomber to try to cut off the enemy. Father had to fall back, and it was up to me to hold off before the bomber arrived. We had a chance and had to take it. I had to find a way to finish the bombers' work and destroy that rail bridge. The station would be heavily guarded. I could already hear the Germans crossing. I had to find a way to destroy the bridge before they reached me. I needed to get into the warehouse. I could approach from the roof.
Leise, wenn ich bitten darf!
It was as though something had taken over me that night. If I didn't blow the bridge now, they would make it over and all hope would be lost. The damaged bridge fell and the town was saved. Stealing from the enemy was our only way to survive. A few weeks before Dante's death, he had sent us to a German fuel depot not far from Pazzano. This was anything but the light resistance our scouts had predicted. I pushed further into the base. With the valves open, we could help ourselves to the fuel. The fear would come later, but at that moment, I felt I was winning the war single-handedly. The enemy had mobilized a counterattack. As the Axis column snaked towards us, Dante knew we had to work fast. The enemy kept coming, but with my friends' lives in my hands, I was remorseless. This fuel would be our lifeblood, but only if I could buy my friends the time they needed. The Wehrmacht came like an endless tide. A respite in the attack forced our hand. We had to escape with what we had. The captured fuel would help bring vital supplies into Calabria. As trust between the Allies and partisans grew, we began to coordinate our efforts. They had brought down a plane in the mountains nearby and wanted our help to recover its cargo. Nazi scouts got there first. The Allies knew that the Germans would beat them to the crash site. We had just minutes to lay an ambush and hold them off. The fascists were coming. We'd won. Before Dante's death, we had received word that a high-ranking German officer was traveling to the region to take command of the German forces in Calabria. Dante saw the opportunity to cut the head off the snake. The general's arrival was just minutes away. I steadied myself before unlocking the gate. I had reached the church. One bullet. One bullet can change the course of a war. I gambled that he would stop at the guard point. The general was dead. I had no choice but to stand and fight. As we sped away, little did we suspect that days later, the Germans would launch a reprisal attack on Pazzano that would claim Dante's life and those of countless partisans and villagers. How had the Germans known it was us? German AA placement? We had to find a way to disable them. The explosion would be big. One down, two to go. Just one gun remained.
Wer zum... Irgendwo da.
Er ist da drüber.
Wer zum... Mehr sein. Seid vorsichtig. Feindliche Granate!
The German guns were silenced, the mission complete. I knew only that I had to rescue my friend. When Matteo and his squad failed to return from a reconnaissance mission, Dante sent me to find them. But there was no sign of Matteo. Matteo! I had to get him home. The Nazi reinforcements had arrived. The half-track pressed us back. With their armor destroyed, the enemy fell back and we were able to slip away. Matteo was silent as I carried him back to Pazzano. Just weeks after rescuing Matteo from the German bunker, his squad was ambushed while on patrol. Matteo wasn't there. We had more immediate problems. had survived. No pain yet, but confusion and horror smothered me. Matteo. Traitor. Pazzano, the attack, our comrades and loved ones, all him. I healed. My father begged me not to go after Matteo, but all I heard was my anger. Matteo had taken refuge at the German coastal fort, while in Pazzano, mothers wept for their dead sons. My training, stealth, patience gave way to anger as I cut through the Germans to reach Matteo. I had fought my way inside. With cold fury, I pinned them down, offering no escape or mercy. I had to find a way to flush him out, and that way was death. They tried to get Matteo away from me, desperate and futile. How had it come to this? The enemy had surrounded me. My father was right. Matteo's death did not heal the wound of his betrayal. Instead, it was as though that fatal bullet had killed something inside of me, too. After that day, the Axis soldiers named me the Spectre. Carlo and I had become a highly effective team. He infiltrating enemy strongholds, darting wasp-like between targets to plant explosives, while I covered him from afar. From my position, I could pick them off one at a time and clear the way for Carlo. Carlo prepared to finish the job. The explosives should have triggered. I had to try a desperate shot. Our hair was singed and our ears rang, but the devastating work was done. We had received word that the Allied fleet in Sicily was preparing to invade the Calabrian coast. I was walking into an enemy stronghold alone. I would have to use every ounce of my experience if I was to walk out again. We knew the Germans had positioned naval cannons along the coast, but now we knew how to use them.
Tarnung, hä?
Horror gripped me as I stared at that document. The Germans had hidden a U-boat in the bay beside the lighthouse. I had gathered all the intel I could. Having lost contact with the Allies after Dante's death, we had no way of warning them. We discovered a highly decorated German general had been sent to Calabria to oversee the Axis preparations for the Allied landings. The general had taken residence in the same lake house where Matteo had betrayed us all those weeks ago, protected by a squad of elite soldiers. I knew that if a single enemy soldier raised the alarm, the general would try to escape. Rank is no shield against a well-aimed bullet. The general was dead, but I still had to find the plans for the German defense of Calabria and return them to my father.
Verdammt nochmal! Tötet sie alle!
Hitler must have been getting nervous if he'd sent one of his best commanders to counter the Allied threat. As I made my escape, a squad of Nazi soldiers arrived. Had my luck finally run out? We had to find a way to stop the Germans ourselves. If the Allies were to move their fleet safely, we had to disable the naval base. But first, I had to clear a route for the others. The alarm would draw out the guards. That was the signal to the resistance to fight our way in together.
Feindliche Granate! Für das Vaterland! Wo muss der hin? Achtung! Schütze! Reißt ihn ein! Reißt ihn ein! Feindliche
The cannon was ours for as long as I could hold the enemy back. Now, to make use of it. A hit! As that destroyer sank, I moved to disable the cannon for good, starting with the controls. Now I had only to escape. A stolen mass boat was my way. With the German U-boat hidden in the bay, awaiting the arrival of the Allied fleet, everything we had fought for was in danger of being lost. Flak cannons inside of the base would make any full-scale assault of the island impossible. To take them out, I would have to enter the lion's den.
Not so fast, sniper! Got a bullet with your name on it!
The Germans had me surrounded and vastly outnumbered. One down, one to go. The cannons were destroyed. Next, I would have to find a way onto the beach. lighthouse towered over me. I felt very small. I knew then I would either return a hero or not return at all. One bullet. One bullet can change the course of a war. It would be the last bullet I ever fired.